This is not point. This week we will be interviewing some of the most loved and sportiest teachers in the school, many of whom would have smashed Joe Wicks' press-up record. Welcome, Mr. Cooper and Mr. Branch. Whoops, I nearly forgot. I've got a short question that took me hours to come up with. What do you like more, ice cream or cake?
I'm a cake man, Cassidy. Definitely cake.
Thank you very much for the lovely intro, Cassidy.
Yeah.
I mean, am I not allowed to have both of those? Can I not have a nice little mixture of the two? No? Okay. If I had definitive answer, I'm going to go cake. No ice cream. No cake.
None. I'll pick none of them.
Any particular flavour?
You know what, my mum used to make a really nice carrot cake. So I'd go carrot cake. But I'd say it's got to be homemade for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Mr. Cooper's homemade carrot cake. And if you're very lucky, you might even bring some in this week.
Yes!
From New Zealand, all the way.
Yeah. It can't be still, but... Okay.
What would you both say your top favourite sport is?
Would you like to go first, Mr. Cooper?
When you say top favourite sport, is that to play, to watch, to teach?
So, play, Play,
Yeah.
teach and watch. All three.
Okay, play, cricket, teach, football, and to watch rugby, especially if the All Blacks are playing.
Cool. I think football's quite popular there, Mr. Cooper, particularly the media. I would go...
You can say running as well.
I can say running. No, that's usually a bit painful for me, so I might avoid that one for now. Let's go with... I'm going to go to watch rugby, just copying Mr. Cooper. To play or be involved in, I'm going to go skiing.
Oh, yes.
And then to teach, it does tend to follow which term it is in school. So for the moment, I'm going to go, I'm enjoying a bit of cricket. Martha looks happy with that one.
What inspired you to become PE teachers?
It's a very good question, Martha. I think I've always loved my sport. Sport's been probably my number one passion in life, and to be involved in sport, I thought the easiest way, the best way for me is to teach and get to work with all you amazing young people, which is a real bonus to that. So, yeah, I think through my passion of sport, I got into teaching.
I think I'd have to go with probably my role models as PE teachers when I was at school. So I can quite vividly remember in year 9 looking at my PE teacher and thinking, do you know what, I think that's the job for me. And also, I've got an older brother who is a bit of a role model again, so I kind of followed in his footsteps a little bit. It is a brilliant way to get outside all the time.
Especially in this beautiful weather that we're having at the moment.
When you was ever teaching PE, has a stranger come up to you and say something negative about the school or something good about the school?
Very, very good question, Emilio. Yes, I would say several years ago I had a very, very grumpy parent on the sidelines that I didn't know very well, who was incredibly mean about one of the children. So I was quite surprised to see that from an adult. And I've definitely been accosted in the park for when we've been taking up a little bit too much space on the path. But generally, particularly in Regent's Park, people are pretty happy and like to see your smiling faces enjoying the sunshine and being out and about.
If you could change one rule in any sport, what would it be?
That's another good. These are good questions, guys. I think I would change in rugby. If you in the professional rugby, if you kick a penalty goal, it's worth 3 points. So I don't like that. I don't like penalty goals.
See, I do like that. I like to see England getting a few cheeky 3 points on the board.
They tend to like their penalty goals in the Northern Hemisphere. I like tries. So I would go 2 points for a penalty goal, and instead of 5 for a try, I'd go 6. So a little bit like rugby league, if you know anything about rugby league.
Yeah, Kira, that is a brilliant question,
Very good.
and hotly contested in the PE office this week. Do you know what I'd quite like to see a sin bin brought into football. So I think quite often in football, if you get any dissent, any talking back to the referee, they trialled it a few years ago where the free kick would be moved on 10 metres, but actually that territorial advantage in football doesn't make a massive difference. Whereas I think if somebody was put in the sin bin and not allowed to play for 10 minutes, that would have a really big impact on the behaviour of particularly top-level footballers. Oscar, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, what do you think of the offside rule?
I'd say give me a salt and pepper shaker and I'll do my best to describe it. Miss Cooper, you watch an awful lot of football, so I'm going to...
Are we talking pre-VAR or post-VAR?
Post-VAR.
I mean, it's a tricky one. I grew up in a country where football wasn't massive, and I've come over here and there's a lot of passionate people when it comes to football who I know are very, would feel a lot about this question. I mean, to make it easier, I'd just say no offsides. I think that would make it a lot easier, wouldn't it? But I know I'm not a purist when it comes to football. Mr. Branch might disagree.
Yeah, I might disagree with you on that one a little bit. I think VAR needs a bit of time to settle down. I think it will get there. I'm not quite the FIFA purist of saying, well, it all needs to be the same at all levels of the game. I think it just needs a little settle down. I'm sure it'll be fine.
To go back to your point about the sin bin, I think that by 2024 they're going to have orange cards, which means you'll go off onto the sideline for 15 minutes and then come back on, and if you do it again you'll just be sent off straight away.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Go on, Amelia. Is this another football follow-on?
Yeah.
Is it? Come on then.
So, but with your sin bin, you could just, if you get 2 yellow cards, you can just be off for 1 game. And
True.
yeah. And
I think if that first yellow card had more of an impact, so it wasn't just a warning of saying if you do something bad again, you're going to be off the pitch. I think if that had an immediate effect of, right, you've got 10 minutes off, I think that would have enough of an impact on the rest of the team to kind of bring the behaviour a bit closer in line. I could even trial, I know in hockey where they use a green card as the warning, and then the next level is a yellow card, so that could be effective. So green could be the warning, yellow then sin bin, and then red is that last kind of escalation to off you pop.
And it will be a bit difficult for Man United players to survive with the sin bin.
Excuse me. Coming from a Chelsea supporter, Amelia, I don't know about that.
You'll see.
What is the best sports match or event you've been to?
Oh, crikey. I know Mr. Cooper's been to some pretty high level.
You're going to learn about my passion for sport here this afternoon. I've been lucky enough to go to a couple of World Cup games in cricket and rugby. Went to probably my favourite ever game was a semi-final of the Cricket World Cup 2015. New Zealand played against South Africa, and for a long time that game it looked like we were going to lose, and we managed to pull it back, and it was one of the best finishes I've ever experienced in a sports match. Hairs in the back of the neck just stand up just thinking about it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome, and I also went to the Rugby World Cup final in, again, 2011 in New Zealand, where the All Blacks beat France, and we hadn't won the World Cup in 24 years, I think, so that was pretty cool to be there for that. I hadn't seen them win a World Cup in my life, so that was amazing to be there for that as well.
Got a couple now though, Mr. Cooper.
Just a couple.
Wasn't it in Auckland, wasn't it?
In Auckland, yeah.
It was very touch and go, that one, though, at the end.
It was very, so there's a lot of relief felt around the stadium after the final whistle.
Martha, did you want to add on to Mr. Gibson?
My brother, for I think the Cricket World Cup, when New Zealand played against...
Don't talk. Mr. Cooper will still cry if you mention that.
I might actually leave. No.
my
mentioned that
brother
game.
walked out with the New Zealand captain.
Really? Fantastic.
Our cricket team, all stars were asked to walk out, but I couldn't do it. I was at gymnastics.
That's so cool.
Too busy. You got too many things on.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do you know, I'm going to go. I might have to draw a parallel. I'm going to go. I went to watch Ipswich beat Man United 2-0 at Portman Road. I've got to be perfectly honest in present company. It was a bit of a second string team from Man United that day, but it was still a bit of a momentous occasion. That was back when it was the Coca-Cola Cup, the community cup. And I'd say probably in terms of atmosphere and outcomes, I went to the Millennium Stadium to see, I think 2007, to see Wales beat France and win their first Grand Slam in many years, with my wife, who is a fierce Welsh supporter. And although as an Englishman there was a little bit of pain involved, the atmosphere, the volume of the crowd singing, it was absolutely incredible.
I've also been to that stadium. I'd say it's the best stadium in the world to watch any sort of sport.
They certainly know how to sing
They do.
over the border. Amelia?
I've got 2 questions. My first question is, Ipswich just had luck because United was the better
That's
team.
not a question, Amelia.
I'm
not accepting I'm not accepting any words against the mighty Ipswich Town.
Okay, they lost momentum because Man United kept on shooting, but they never got it in, like the Chelsea game against Aston Villa. They had luck, Aston Villa.
That's 2 statements, Amelia, and they're both very negative to my beloved Ipswich Town. So I'm going to have to move on to Oscar.
Is Ipswich Town your favourite club?
I'm afraid so. Being a local Suffolk boy, it was the only option for me, and no matter how bad they are to watch, I have to keep following them.
Do you know who Ipswich Town are?
Yeah.
You confused looks around the room here.
Mr. Cooper. That cuts me deep. Go on, Tasha.
Did you know when you booked the tickets to the game? Did you know that you were going to lose?
We were heavily the underdogs in that game, and it was actually my birthday, and my dad bought me tickets. It was a very very lovely memory for me.
Have you ever seen Ipswich versus Millwall?
Millwall, I can't, not live. No, luckily not live. Seen them take on many a foe, but not the Lions.
Is there any sports person, dead or alive, that you would like to play a game of that choice of sport with?
Oh, that's another good question. I love my golf. I love playing golf as a pastime. I'm not great at it, but I really enjoy playing golf, and I think it'd be pretty cool to go and play around a golf with Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty cool. I know he's had a checkered past at times, but he's a bit of a legend in the golfing world, and I think that'd be pretty cool. He'd make me look extremely bad, but I'd enjoy that.
I'd have to say a game of heads and volleys with Peter Schmeichel would be right up there for me. I don't think I'd get many past him, but maybe as he's getting older, I might be able to just get a couple in. Martha?
This is not very related to the question, but if this is a question as a follow-up question, if you could play any position in cricket, and I know there's loads, so I'm going to rule out. There's you can only choose bowler, batter, wicketkeeper, or fielder. What would you be?
I like batting, Martha. Yeah, I used to really enjoy my bowling as well, but as I've got older, I've become less reliable with the ball in my hand. So I enjoy batting a lot more these days.
I would have to say I'm always a big fan of having the gloves on. Whether it's football or cricket, I like having the gloves on. Can I do a bit of batting as well, though? Can I be a wicketkeeper batsman?
Yes.
There you go. I'll go wicket-keeper batsman then. Maybe a little middle of the order, some fireworks like Joss Butler.
What did you hope to be when you were growing up?
What did I hope to be when I was growing up? I actually really wanted to be a zookeeper when I was young. I really liked animals. I still love animals, but I went a different path. But I really enjoyed the idea of being a zookeeper and working with exotic animals from all around the world. That seemed pretty cool to me.
From quite early on, I think I said year 9 earlier. That was when I made my choice going, right, PE teacher's the route for me. But actually, I didn't realise this was such a common theme. But yeah, a zookeeper was a very, very close second. I'm absolutely fascinated by big cats. Who knows? There's still a bit of time. Maybe we could do a bit of PE teaching and then nip across over to London Zoo and just have some.
I'm just waiting for Mr. Branch to take me to the zoo one day. It'd be really nice, wouldn't it?
Summer. Go on, Mr. Keeper. Summer it is. Amelia?
If you could pick a job, would you rather work with Micah Richards or Jamie Redknapp?
Oh, what a question. I think I'd go Micah Richards every day of the week, solely because of his laugh. I think he'd keep me chuckling along in the commentary box.
I think I'd go Jamie Redknapp, because I know Jamie Redknapp's a keen golfer, so I'd quite like to go and have a round of golf with him. I think he'd be entertaining on the golf course.
He'd never hit one hole.
A hole in one?
A hole in one in 1,000 balls.
Oh, wow.
It's very rare for a hole in one to be hit. I've never hit a hole in one, Amelia.
Okay.
Can you tell us a joke?
No. You know what? I was actually just thinking about this because Mr. Branch, was it Christmas time? You got
might have been birthday actually.
Birthday. We got Mr. Branch and Mr. Branch actually just become a father this year, and as a gift we got him
Thanks for me. Yeah.
we got him a dad jokes book, and there were some wonderful jokes in there. And we thought we'd bring it up with us, but we've forgotten it.
Yeah, I'm afraid I took it home. What's brown and sticky?
A stick.
A what?
A stick.
A stick, of course. What's orange and sounds like a parrot?
Carrot.
A carrot.
Oh.
Yeah, that's as good as mine get, I'm afraid. They only get worse from there.
What do you call a fish without no eyes? Yeah.
Yes, love it, Emilio. Kira.
What does Silver Snape use to make disappointing mince pies?
No, go on.
The half-good mince.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's a good one.
Are we coming back to jokes now, Amelia? Is this, are we just going to go round a minute? Go on. Who's there?
You're
Who?
a poo.
Emilio.
On the podcast.
Might be editing that one out.
Oh, and I got another one.
Nah, you were done, Emilio, with that one. Too rude. Go on, Martha.
Why did the banana go to the doctor's?
Because he had it.
Oh, go on.
Because he wasn't peeling right.
Oh, very nice. Tom, have you got one to...
Why did the hand cross the road?
Go on.
To get to the second-hand shop.
Oh, very nice.
What was one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to you?
Too many to talk about.
It's got to be family friendly as well.
Family friendly.
It doesn't have to be to do with sports.
Yeah.
No. I've got two things. One recently and then one when I was really young. When you get older and you play club cricket, if you bowl and the ball doesn't come out right, it can fly way over the batsman's head and over the wicketkeeper's head. And unfortunately, in one game, the ball slipped out of my hand, and this was quite a big game. And they had a big moment in the match, and the ball slipped out, and it went sailing over the batsman, over the wicketkeeper, down to the boundary for 4, and we ended up losing the game. And I was very, very embarrassed because of that. And the second one, when I was really young, was at a sports day. So in New Zealand, we have these big days during the summer term, we had these swimming sports events. And for this particular swimming sports race, for some reason, I don't know why, I thought halfway through the race I needed to take my swimming trunks off. And so here I am at halfway through the race taking my swimming trunks off. And then everyone started looking at me and laughing at me. And I don't know why I did it, but I did it, and it was very embarrassing.
How old were you?
Only about 5 or 6, I think. I was very young, very silly.
One of my issues kind of relates.
Huh?
And when I was in Oxford Street, we was crossing the road and I had an accident.
Oh, no.
Oh, tough times.
That's embarrassing.
Tough times in the middle of Oxford Street as well. John, mine is also a cricket-related tale of woe. It was one of my first games of cricket, I think, and I was throwing the ball. I used to bowl some very average medium pace, and as I ran in, I was just getting towards my delivery stride. Might have to stand up to show you this. And as my arm came round, I caught my thumb in my pocket, and the ball just dribbled out and rolled down towards the batsman, and everyone had a good chuckle, and I was just left there, red-faced, to return to the top of my run-up. Dead ball, back you go. Back you go. See if you can get a better one better one next time. I got my thumb caught. That was it. Just
big pockets.
Yeah, very big pockets, like flares. Big flares they were. I thought you were having a swim there, Everett. Yeah? Arms going up and round. Yeah, I know. Even to this day, I'm not entirely sure about the whole mechanics of it and how I managed to get my thumb caught. But it certainly wasn't one of my better deliveries. Probably not one of the worst either.
If you could have one meal every day, what would it be?
Oh, here goes my phone. One meal. You know what? I love Chinese food.
Oh, yes.
So, and you know what? In particular, I like actually when you have leftovers the next day.
Yeah.
You heat it up in the microwave.
Definitely.
So nice. And I love sweet and sour pork, Hong Kong style. So I'd say that'd be my favourite meal. I'd love to have that. I think I'd put on a bit of weight if I had that every day, but it'd be yummy.
I think if it was one dish, I think I could comfortably eat lasagna every day of my life.
But made from
homemade lasagna.
Mexican or Italian?
Or if I was going to go a type of food, I'd go Thai food. I could happily survive on Thai food, on curries, soups, stir fries. Love it.
Make me hungry.
Yeah.
There's this Nutella lasagna. So instead of the tomato sauce, you've got Nutella. Would you want that?
Maybe I'll have my main course can be a nice tomato-y based lasagna, and then we can have a little dessert lasagna for the Nutella. I think you need to get me that recipe, Cassie. Martha?
I have lots of choices of food. I love pasta, but if I had to have one thing every day, it would be my dad's American pancakes with chocolate on top.
Very nice, very nice. Well, there's a lot of food ideas.
Sharing recipes around the room.
Yeah, I think we might have to hold the recipe sharing for another time.
Have you ever made a significant mistake when you were in sports?
I've already said mine. I think we both already said ours.
It certainly wouldn't be an isolated mistake. Absolutely yes. Absolutely. There's a few that I can think of as a keeper. I did with a great deal of confidence once when we had a comfortable lead of 4-0. Decide that we got awarded a penalty, and obviously we got a comfortable lead, so I went herring up the pitch. Go on, I'll take it. I can slot that away, no problem at all. Put in an awful effort. Keeper saved it and had to do a big sprint back to make sure I didn't concede. So I'd say that's probably the one that made me look most foolish. Having ultra confidence that I could put a penalty away, and then having to slink back to my own net would be mine.
I think we've both played a fair bit of rugby as well, haven't we, in this branch? And I think I know I certainly have missed a few tackles every now and again to let in a few soft tries. So
I can't imagine that.
so that would be up there as well.
Well, this has been a great interview. I know we've learned about so many different things. Good to know that your favourite food is lasagna, and you really like Chinese. And I think this has gone really well.
Wonderful. No, thank you very much for inviting us. It's been amazing.
Good questions.
Loving to see the setup in here as well. I've heard an awful lot about the microphone, so it's nice to see it in all its glory. And there's some absolutely brilliant questions. I think, Kira, you've got to take the biscuit with.
This.